The Meg 2. The Trench, 2023. It's all about this crazy place way deep under the sea. Like, it's a whole different world down there. So, the story starts way back, like 65 million years ago, when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. This super dangerous dino starts hunting monsters, but they all freak out and jump into the sea to escape. And guess what? This gnarly shark, called the Megalodon, shows up and takes down the dinosaur like it's nothing. That's why they call the movie Meg, cause that shark is a total beast. Fast forward to the present, we meet the hero Jonas, who's just minding his own business when he stumbles upon some jerks dumping dangerous chemicals into the water. Jonas ain't having none of that, so he starts taking pics as evidence. But those goons catch on and chase him like there's no tomorrow. Jonas pulls off some epic moves, knocking those thugs around like they're bowling pins. He's got skills, man. But eventually, they corner him near the sea, and it looks like game over. Until, boom, his buddies swoop in with a chopper and rescue him. With the team all together, they're like, "Let's put an end to all this sea pollution nonsense." Jonas is stoked, because he gathered enough evidence against those jerks. Jonas, our main man, hit up this awesome party. You won't believe who he bumped into there. The big shot director of a Chinese research company. Crazy, right? This director, by the way, is the brother of Jonas's scientist buddy. So, the party's going wild, and the director takes the stage to celebrate their company's 10-year anniversary. He's like, "Hey peeps, we've come a long way, and it's time to spill the beans." Turns out, he started this company after some personal hardships, losing his sister and dad, but that didn't stop him. He powered through, used cool tech, and made some mind-blowing discoveries. Now, this company is all about exploring the deep sea, and they've got these super suits that make people 20% stronger. And get this, they even caught a massive megalodon shark from the deep sea. Imagine the size of that thing, but they're doing it all for a worthy cause, protecting the sea and stuff. So, the next day, Jonas and the director head to the research center for a mission. It's risky, and Jonas knows it, but he's all in. Meanwhile, he's looking after the director's daughter, who's totally stoked to become a scientist like Jonas. But he's like, "Nah, kiddo, it's too dangerous right now." But guess what? The director's got this wild idea to test Meg, the giant shark. Jonas thinks it's a terrible plan because Meg's a beast, no joke. But the director's all confident, thinking he can control the mighty Meg. He goes face to face with the shark, and everyone's scared for him. But he manages to avoid getting chomped. The director's like, "See, I told ya, Meg can be tamed." But as soon as he traps the shark, Meg goes nuts on this iron contraption and breaks free, heading back to the sea like a boss. So, they were getting ready for their big underwater mission. Their goal was to go super deep, like 20,000 feet, into the ocean and see what's going on down there. Jonas and the boss were in separate submarines, and they were joined by a team of 3 workers who were guiding them from above. But then, surprise, Jonas finds out that his scientist friend's daughter had sneaked into his submarine without him knowing. He wasn't thrilled about it because this mission was pretty dangerous. Anyway, they keep going deeper, and suddenly, they spot a mysterious creature called Meg. She's a bit of a scary sight and freaks everyone out. Jonas and the boss are confused about how Meg got loose in the first place. They end up going even further down to save her, and to their astonishment, she doesn't harm the submarines. No one could figure out why she was acting that way. But then, something incredible happens. They see 2 megalodons together, and it blows their minds. No one had ever seen such a sight before. As they continue exploring, they stumble upon a station where people are digging deep in the ocean. This surprises everyone, because no one had gone that deep before, and a lot of money was invested in this operation. Suddenly, a troublemaker in a submarine appears and tries to stop them from discovering the truth. He sets off an explosion to cover up their digging, and it causes chaos for Jonas and the boss. They struggle to control their submarines amidst the rocks and debris. Up above, the team is worried sick about what's happening down there. The troublemaker communicates with them and says they can't help because all their ships are busted. Jonas manages to reach out to his team above and assures them that his crew is safe, but they're unsure about the boss's submarine. They know they can't keep this dangerous situation hidden for long. There's a lot at stake, and they need to figure out a way to stay safe and deal with the dangers lurking below. On one side, we got loads of Megs, but on the other side, We're scared of those sneaky enemies trying to blow us up and take us down. The company mechanic talks to Jonas, saying not to worry, help's on the way, but till then, be careful. So Jonas says they're heading to a station across a trench. They put on director's suits and get out of the submarine. As they move forward, they find the director all alone, wearing a suit too. They continue toward the trench station. Then there's this bad guy who calls his boss. And guess what? It's the director's partner, the one who was hiding and secretly plotting against him. She was the mastermind behind it all, digging and causing trouble down there. She hears that Jonas is alive and orders his immediate demise. As they head to the station, monsters attack them. They shoot like crazy, but the monsters keep coming, and lots of the team members get taken out. Jonas fights back, dropping those monsters and shooting them with his gun, but they're losing people left and right. Just when things are looking bleak, Meg shows up, and the monsters flee in terror. What a surprise. They run towards the station, and thankfully, they make it inside and escape Meg's wrath. Inside, they discover some precious dotty worth millions of dollars, which was the reason they were digging in the first place. The Checkar director spills the beans on their plan. As Jonas and the team continue their adventure, they end up in a huge room. Suddenly, the door locks, and they're trapped. On the screen, that double-crossing worker gloats about how she's in control and betrayed them. She's associated with the Russell director and just wants money. Jonas tries to reason with her, reminding her they were all friends once. But greed got the best of her when she teamed up with the director's partner. Now she wants to use Jonas as a hostage to save the scientist's daughter. So, Jonas is like the ultimate buddy, ready to take a bullet for his friend, this girl. But she goes all John Wick and pulls a gun on him. Whoa, tense moment. But surprise, surprise, she can't shoot him because they're tight buds. Then, things get wilder. The director's partner shows up and spills the beans. She confesses that she secretly worked on a top-secret project, raking in millions using the director's tech. That's some serious betrayal. Naturally, the director goes berserk and smashes the screen. Meanwhile, the traitorous partner orders her lackey to wipe out everyone. Total villain move, right? So the lackey activates some water torture room, and the team is freaking out. But our hero Jonas steps up to the plate. He's like, I got this, and dives into the flooded room to stop the water. It's intense, and he's struggling to breathe, but he's not giving up. Hold on, there's some history between Jonas and this goon. They met in the station, they've tangled before, and the goon's all smug about it. But Jonas ain't fazed, and they throw down in an epic brawl. Our boy Jonas takes some hits, but delivers some knockout punches. After settling that score, Jonas unlocks the team's prison room, saving their lives. So they get out and find a ship, but there's this dangerous Meg creature lurking outside. She's a real man-eater, literally. But wait, they're crafty. They turn on all the lights, and Meg takes the bait, attacking the station. The team seizes the opportunity and escapes in the ship. Phew, close call. But hold up, they're in for another surprise when they breach the thermocline layer. A gigantic octopus emerges. It's like the ocean is throwing everything at them. There was this tough goon, right? And when he came up, he hopped into his ship. Upstairs, Jonas's pals noticed the ship was damaged on purpose, so they couldn't escape into the water and save themselves. They realized something fishy was going on. The worker and his gang came to the door, trying to scare them off, demanding they surrender. But Jonas and his friend didn't back down. They fought the goons bravely, taking them down one by one. It was quite a scene. Just when things seemed under control, bullets started flying, forcing Jonas and his buddy to jump into the water to survive. Meanwhile, they found out that the goons had taken over their base, so they rushed back to confront them. Jonas and the director teamed up and took down the goons effortlessly. They were real heroes. The goons' partner warned them about Jonas and the director's survival and ordered the goons to get rid of them. Everyone was in a frenzy to finish them off. At the top of the ship, the girl and her friend spotted 3 gigantic megalodons approaching the base. That was a big problem. The girl showed her boss a captured Meg, claiming it was all safe. But surprise, Meg broke free and caused chaos, flooding the base. The goon had to get out of there quickly as the whole place shook. Jonas and his team hopped into a boat and set sail, but the megalodon was still lurking around, making them pretty anxious. Some goons even tried to attack Jonas from the water, but guess what? Meg showed up and gulped down their boat with all the goons inside. Jonas was terrified and raced away with his boat. Then, the goon informed the director's partner that Jonas and the director were still alive. Jonas, who's on a mission to find and take down this dangerous Meg. He's all set with his weapon, ready to go. Now, Jonas gears up his rod and attaches a bomb to it. Then, his boss tells him about an island nearby where a bunch of people need saving from Meg. So, they reach the island, and everyone seems to be having a good time. There's this cute scene with a guy proposing to his friend, but the ring falls into the water because their boat starts shaking. When he goes to pick it up, his friend mysteriously disappears. Suddenly, things get crazy as an octopus attacks their ship, and it's chaos all around. But then, the director's friend shows up in a helicopter with some bad guys, planning to kill Jonas and the director. And just when they thought it couldn't get worse, huge sea monsters, the Schulfalls, appear from the depths. The bad guys try to shoot them down, but it's not easy, and they lose some friends in the process. Amidst the chaos, Jonas and the director try to help the people on the island. But then, 3 terrifying megalodons show up, causing havoc in the sea. These giant beasts swallow ships and everything in their path. Scary stuff, right? Jonas is terrified, but he knows he has to do something. The director's friends try to escape in a helicopter, but they're attacked by a monster inside. Yikes! Jonas takes charge and heads into the water to deal with the megalodons. The director, on the other hand, faces off against the monsters on the island. It's a real nail-biter. The director manages to defeat a monster using a weapon, and he hops into a helicopter just in time. They blow up more monsters and take off. But there's still a big octopus causing trouble. The director is worried about the people being attacked, so he jumps out of the helicopter to help them. Meanwhile, Meg is closing in on Jonas, ready to gobble him up in the water. Phew, that was quite a ride. The situation is intense, and it's a battle for survival. It's a tough time, and our hero's boat goes kaput. Just when things seem grim, here comes Meg, a ginormous sea monster, ready to gobble him up. But guess what? Our guy gets the boat working again and zooms ahead like a boss. 3 Megs gang up on him, but he's like, I ain't going down that easy, and bravely fights them off like a true champ. Now, the big bad Megalodon shows up, getting all up in our hero's face. But wait, he's got a plan. He whips out a rod with a bomb on it, and boom! Megalodon gets taken out, and our hero escapes the explosion like a pro. He even manages to take out the other Meg in the water before trouble finds him again. Uh-oh, there's a baddie lurking around, and our guy decides to make a run for it. He darts out of the water and onto the shore, but the villain is hot on his heels. It's a showdown, and just when the bad guy is about to shoot, bam! Our hero kicks him, and he almost ends up swimming with the fishes. But fear not, Meg to the rescue. She chomps down on the villain and saves the day. Oh, but it's not over yet. The director gets in trouble with an octopus, but our hero comes to the rescue once again. With some clever moves and a well-placed bomb, the octopus is no match for him. But wait, there's more. Another Meg and the director are out for revenge, and things get intense. Our hero calls for backup, and a helicopter swoops in. He cleverly takes out the Meg with the helicopter fan, and everyone's cheering. As if that's not enough, there's a heartwarming moment when they find out that Meg is preggers with a baby sea monster. The director and our hero can't help but laugh and crack jokes. The crew is safe, and the movie ends on a super happy note, with everyone chilling on the shore, stoked about their crazy adventure and the little sea monster on the way. And they are all live, happily ever after. Epic win.